Hello, everybody. How are we all doing? We got some. I reformatted things a little bit. Hopefully, this will be better. I actually really enjoyed doing essentially. Oh, thank you, Sonic,
Extra,
for the sub.
Extra. Read all about it.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
my 6-month sub anniversary.
Thanks, Sonic. You're a real one. Anyone who doesn't know, Sonic's also the guy who wrote the Market Watch script for me. So big shout out to him. We actually have some actual pressing news. I technically got the scoop on this too. So the journalist in me is very excited. Oh, hold on. I didn't turn on my Bulbasaur light. Very important. The Bulbasaur light ensures that the truth and nothing but the truth happens here on this show. Hello, Lizzie Babs, Akahara, yes, you too, Mandalore, Nina, Maximus, and of course Sonic. So this is still a developing story. We will... come on, man. I just fed you. You can't be like that. You can't be meowing at me after I fed you. Sorry if you can hear the meowing. Is the sound okay? Is the music too loud? Let me know. Maximus. I mean, yeah, probably. Where have I been? Gorgonzola. I got plenty of burnout, especially with, I don't know what it was. I think making the class highlight videos literally burned me out of doing video editing. So I took I have been doing weekly news updates. Also, December, I had to recover from a surgery, and then I got COVID, 2-week break into getting a flu. So my December and early January were just kind of bad. But here we are. No, the cat has certainly been fed, Sonic. Okay. Oh, Evan, for a second I was about to turn down the music. I don't want you guys to hear Mandalore. You guys will encourage me. I mean, I literally... I have some treats for him. Maybe later. He does a thing after I feed him where he, has to meow at me for a little bit. I think he's trying to say thank you. I will turn down the music a little bit. Yeah, and my levels look okay. Yeah, alright. Not peaking, that's good. Alright, so, just to give everyone the rundown, this is how I did it last week. Gonna do it again this week the same way. This is essentially going to follow more or less my radio script, what I have. I'm going to finish each story segment. Okay, if anyone wants to talk about that, we can talk about it. But I'm going to try to move on, and we can talk about stuff as it happens. But I'm going to try to go through the news stories as we go. So I will be looking at chat, but just be advised that, if I'm talking about, Arcanite bars, I might not immediately answer your question about, the drop rate on some random thing. So, just keep that in mind. All right. So, without further ado, because I don't want to bury the lead here. I did mention it a couple places. You will be finding out about this soon. Guild bases. Now, just as a quick primer, some people don't know what guild bases are. Many veterans, myself included, do know what they are. Shoutouts to Speeds, who on the forums wrote a detailed listing of all guild bases. There are actually more guild bases than this, but I thought I would put up some of the more well-known guilds, so that you could see who these organizations are that have guild bases. And just to kind of do a little outline, guild bases are something that those that are in those guilds, they can use their guild tabard as a sort of hearth, but rather than bringing them back to a Hearthstone location or like a major city, Poliwag, we'll get to that. So rather than doing that, what happens is you go to your guild base, and they've been around for a long while. I did prepare some additional slides because I wanted to let people kind of know like the lore about them. This is an old post, true story. When I first started on Turtle WoW, I started in a guild called South Fury Trading Company. My guild master was a gentleman named Koan. And I didn't know it at the time, but Koan was also a roleplay GM. Really great guy. Koan, if you ever watch this, by the way, shouts out to you. Like, literally, you're the one that really helped me fall in love with Turtle WoW. But anyway, this is an old post, as you can see, from January 12th, 2022. I had been on the server for a little bit at this time. I think I technically joined late 2021, but I didn't start really playing till maybe February or March of 2022. And just to kind of run down, this was like the original concept of them. This is what they're meant to be. It was something that back in the day, when the server population was quite smaller, you could request them, and you could see the kind of things that were required. Your guild would have to at least be 6 months old. You'd have to at least have 10 unique players that log on once a week. On the lower left, you can see some of the things that would come with guild bases. This is important for those that don't understand or know about guild bases. Those bases get some of these amenities. And mostly what you would have to do is you'd have to work with the roleplay GMs to sort of put forward a design document that would go along with the lore of your guild. And one thing that's interesting about this old post from the forums is that even here it says the team reserves the right to remove or alter guild houses at any time. So, I mean, even from the beginning, the team definitely did let us know who's in charge about guild bases. So, I mean, I'm saying that now so that, you know, we can kind of establish where we're at. But yeah, oh yeah, the Golden Moon Guild base is awesome. That was actually that's just downriver from where the South Fury Trading Company guild base is, which is more or less abandoned. I don't think really anyone actively uses that one. I think the guild's pretty much like Koan retired. Most other people who I used to roleplay with, you know, or play the game with aren't really in the guild, but some old heads remember. Anyway, so that's just a little primer about the history of it. So for a time, that was like the process. Come summer of 2023, anyone who was here during that time knew exactly how nuts that time was for at least Northernar. There wasn't any new server yet either. It was just Northernar. And the team had to come out with this announcement, which had some contentious issues to it. There was some speculation that guild bases would be removed at the time. And I'm pulling here from a forum post by Torta, who wanted to clarify some of the things that were going on. And right here, you can see that they had to put a moratorium. They couldn't make more guild bases. And, you know, that's pretty much because there were so many people and they needed developers and, like, our PGMs to still, like, do their stuff. They couldn't spend all day making guild bases. They had to, like, do team stuff. Like, the guild bases were sort of icing on the cake. They were like a fun side project thing, and you can clearly see that here. One thing I want to draw everyone's attention to, though, is this was like the last official word we had, at least in the forums. I don't think I found anything else. Truth be told, I didn't look too hard, but I know like this was like the last big thing we got from the team, at least Torta who's like head honcho. And the last we heard was that they said they would explore the possibility of introducing a guild housing system. At the time, I believe the scuttlebutt was that they were thinking of using Caverns of Times as a way to make instance guild housing. It was an interesting idea. It doesn't look like they explored too far into it, or maybe they did and decided to scrap it, because honestly, instance guild housings, I didn't even really play during when this was a thing, but I heard a lot of negative things said about garrisons. So I think some people were like, it feels a little bit like garrisons, so I think they maybe scrapped that idea. And we also see here, Tortoise says that guild bases hold significance as RP hubs and are a part of the server's history, so this is good. We assure that these locations will be preserved, and we will actively work to ensure they remain easily accessible and usable for RP purposes rather than solely for gameplay enhancements. And that theme is sort of a tension that's always been there. I've spoken to RPGMs like Gior and Koan to a lesser extent about this subject specifically, but I know it's very deflating when people that are very interested and enthusiastic about role-playing, this was like back when they would still get submissions, and the submissions would be like, yeah, we don't care, we're just mercenaries, put us near the raid we're doing. You know, for role-play enthusiasts, this didn't feel good. And to be honest, this also showed sort of the transition point when I think Nordinar and I think Turtle WoW to a certain extent started transitioning more from a really RP focused community to RP and PvE as some of their primary focuses. You know, like you could see it start to go that direction, and this is a sign of that. It is important to note that no immediate or near future changes will occur, and that's true because this is back in summer of 2023, so it's been a year and a half since we've heard anything about this. So now you're all caught up on guild-based lore, so we can continue with the story. Before I get into it, just some things I want to make clear, because I don't think the official announcement's out yet. I think I saw them writing drafts in internal channels, but so I did speak to some muckety mucks, some important people in the Turtle WoW sphere who are making this big announcement thing, and everything that I have here is directly sourced from them. I just want to remind people too that, you know, after when we discuss anything, you know, be respectful. And, you know, for my part, it was definitely very hard for me to be neutral, because, you know, guild bases matter a lot to me too, but I'm going to just report things as straight as I can, and then we can kind of get into more like discussion and editorial and opinion stuff. But, you know, just for now, I'm just letting you know, like, that's kind of where I'm at. And, I also let them know I thought it was a bad idea. So, for what it's worth, I should at least declare some of my bias. You know, that was definitely clear in the conversations I was having. I'm like, hey, this isn't a good idea. But, so just be aware of that. And, I heard some of the why, but, I don't know. I guess the why left me wanting, I guess. So I suppose I'm waiting to hear more about the why of this. So I'm sorry for the long preamble about this. We'll actually get to the meat of it. I just thought it was important to do some of this, you know, he's got to be in the shot. Mandalore. I really wanted to, you know, get everyone up to speed, let everyone know what's going on, and then we could jump in. So here's what I have to share. According to my source, guild tabards will no longer teleport those with guild bases to their guild base. The tabard system that's in place that allows you to go to your guild base is going to be opened up to everyone. You won't need a guild base to have your tabard act as a secondary hearth. And the hearth points for those that are using them is going to be determined by, I'm assuming, guild leaders or something like that. And the hearth locations, how that's chosen, I suppose will, from what I heard, and again, very preliminary, but that it's going to use either gold or turtle tokens. I didn't hear one or the other. I'm assuming it's going to be I think if they went turtle coins only, that would really put a bad taste in people's mouth. But if it's gold, I think that's probably fine to a lot of people. Guild bank's an amenity. Generally, you can spend gold to get amenities within your guild. So, guild bases will remain as they exist. They're not demoing any of them, as far as I'm aware. And there should be a much more official announcement coming out soon. It might be tonight with the changelog. They're not doing anything yet. According to my source, they're going to put the announcement out, and the community will have a week to try not to freak out about it. But I think that is the current plan. And I also, again, I want to make it very clear that this system is still being designed. Oh, okay. I'm so glad I had the scoop, Acalix, and I made all these slides. Oh, hold on. I'm going to pull up the actual facts here. You said it's on the... thank you, by the way, Acalix. Okay, I got it here. Alright, hopefully we can see some of this. Okay, so this is the actual announcement. Booyah. I still got it. If I do that... I'll have to fix this later. So, what we got here is, starting next week, guilds will have the ability to rent any tavern in the game that includes an innkeeper, using either gold or tokens. So there we go. These guild quarters can be located in Horde, Alliance, or neutral areas for cross-faction guilds. However, in cross-faction guilds, only players from the same faction as the guild leader will be able to use the guild teleport if the rented tavern is a faction-restricted area. That's... Alright, I'm going to save commentary till we're done getting the facts here. In addition to the guild tabard teleport, these rented taverns will provide an extra rested bonus for guild members who are stationed there. This system is being introduced to ensure all guilds, new and old, have fair access to features like custom bases and teleports. Previously, older guilds had exclusive access to guild housing, which created gameplay advantages newer guilds couldn't share. Some older custom bases occupy spaces needed for upcoming zones and content expansion. Existing guild bases on Northern R will not be removed, but teleports will no longer connect to custom locations tied to these bases. If your guild base becomes inaccessible, RPGMs will be available to assist in getting up Griffin access. To meet the increased demand for housing, we will also be adding more taverns across Azeroth in the future. Stay tuned for more updates and details. We'll touch on the changelog when we get to the changelog section. But there we go. We got the announcement. So, let me just see if I can get this back to the size I had before. Yeah, pretty close. So I had the story pretty much right. Look at that. We'll move on to other news stories. I think this. Yeah. Okay. We'll do that in a second. But yeah, this is gonna be a contentious change. It sounds like those guild bases. I mean, we saw it over here. There are significant RP hubs and a part of the server's history. For my part, I very much feel the same way about it. A guild base is somewhere that is home for players, and for me, acts as a sort of connective tissue throughout all of my playing on Turtle WoW, pretty much. And the person that built the guild base that I have with Blackwing Guard was actually Koan, my first guild master. So it has a special place in my heart, and it's going to be, as a Horde player, it's the closest inn is Kargath, because it's in Eastern Kingdoms. So if I want to go to my guild base, that's pretty tough. These places are going to effectively be abandoned by and large. I don't think they're useless or bad, but this kind of feels, to quote someone from my guild about this, shout out to Garth, this feels like an unforced error by Turtle WoW. I don't know why they're doing this. They say they need to expand stuff. That's fine. I don't think there's a single guild on the server that, if the team approached them with, hey, we need to build something, there's not a guild on the server that would be like, no. Like, they'd be like, cool, can we do like an event where we can move our base? I'm not joking. Even the sweatiest ones. So, anyway. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this. I'm going to start reading through chat to catch up. And I do want to make it perfectly clear, by the way, that guilds that have guild bases, they have an advantage. They absolutely positively do. And it is unfair that new guilds don't have that advantage and are essentially shut out of it. This was an amenity from the old times in Turtle WoW, and likely through most of the veterans is seen as a sort of thank you for being early adopters and supporters. So, you know, I think that's sort of been where the attitude's been. I do agree that it was unfair, though. I do want to be clear about it. And I think the Tabard teleport to Hearths is a good idea, but taking away the guild bases, that's tough. That's tough, man. All right. So let's see here. Yes, Haxer. Big leaks indeed. Polywow says garrisons were bad for every reason. Yep. Bad idea. Probably means they're going. Yep. Yeah. Oh boy, Guildhouse is going away. That's not good. Yeah, Polly. That's kind of. I mean, the last time they said anything about guild housing, like did the team forget how much everyone flipped out? Lizzie Babs is asking how much gold. That is a very interesting question. Primoria asking, did they fix Fury Warrior yet? I mean, can you read the room? I'm trying to catch up here. You have the OP Zeppelin? We don't have a Zeppelin at Blackwing Guard. You're thinking the Traveler base? They actually have a Zeppelin. You have a Zep too. Okay, so let's be clear here. If because I think it's while we're discussing this, right? But yeah, obviously the guild base is still accessible. But if I want to meet someone in my guild to give them an enchant or help them out with something, before I could use a tavern to meet them, now I need to just find another way. Hopefully they're Horde, so I could just meet up with them. If they're Alliance, I guess we'll have to find another way. But we're probably not going to take the rigmarole to meet all the way at the guild base. And I think that's the problem, is that they are meeting places that effectively won't act as meeting places for those guilds anymore. With some exception, I'm sure. But, that's kind of the tough spot. And, I think it is worth weighing the fact that these were originally designed as RP hubs. So I think hopefully those that do role-playing won't be too negatively affected by this. Hopefully they can get a hearth that's close to their hub. As a veteran player who got to make use of guild bases, this kind of makes me think I've outlived my usefulness as far as helping the server along. Well, nice copy, Posted, yeah. Most guilds are going to end up in Ratchet or Booty Bay, I'm assuming. Yeah, I think... And actually, I'm kind of excited about neutral cities being kind of hopping places. Vrograg Hearth is already on Booty Bay. Like right now. I just like Booty Bay. It's a good fishing city. So, yeah, I think that's a nice aspect of it. I just think the unnecessary division and the taking away these essentially and no, they're not like taken away, but okay, so they're not taken away, but they're made way more difficult to get to for some players. Kind of doesn't really make it feel like a home. It kind of makes it feel like you moved away, but you still feel like somewhere else's home. So I don't think it's outrageous to say like that doesn't feel good. I mean, fine with giving new guilds the ability to set their hearth to... Yeah, I mean, Cass, I think that would be a reasonable way to do it. I don't think there's a lot of guilds that are... I mean, outside of someone like Hard Chores, who... They're mortal, so they probably don't want anyone except for mortals up there. Outside of those people... I don't think most people would be that snobby. Maybe they would be. I don't know. At least I can only speak from experience. Blackwing Guard has had their... anyone can get to it if you know where it is. There's like a stair that walks up to it now. And so we're pretty used to just having people chill and use our amenities. We're fine with that. Other guild bases, I think like the Tab C one or like Traveler, they're really hard to get to. So... that's going to be really tough for them. Like, you have to petition an RPGM anytime you want to go to your old home. Yikes. All right. Nina, it could be that we'll have to see what kind of pay structure they have for it. It's just, your most long-time... most dedicated players, mostly for the most part. Like, there are people who like joined last month and are in Blackwing Guard, right, and are enjoying it, but it kind of stinks that like they lose because they had something strong. Yeah, that's always gonna stink. Like, you wouldn't be thrilled. Like, I remember how I felt when they nerfed rogue taking. I wasn't like, all right, yeah, well, that was the right thing to do. It sucked. as I spent lots of time working on rogue taking and getting gear for it. I wasn't thrilled. So, Acalix, within that announcement that I assume you wrote, it said specifically, let's see. If your guild base becomes inaccessible, sorry, I know it's not centered, RPGMs will be available to assist in setting up Griffin access. So, will that be permanent? Like, you have to petition an RPGM to be like, hey, can I go to my guild base? I miss it. Could you set up a Griffin so I can, like... Yeah. So anyway, that's the big scoop. I got this. This story was technically live on the radio last night, I believe. So some people might have heard the story already, but even Evan says, my biggest problem with the idea is that it doesn't fit the idea of a home base. It's just a second hearth spot that some of your guild might not have access to. Yeah, that's it too. Yeah, like spawning in a cheddar griffin for your base. Why would we make you ticket in? I don't know, Acalix. It wouldn't make sense. So I'm assuming that's not what's intended. Adding flight masters in vanilla client is worse than hell, apparently. Yeah. Actually, I think there's some truth to that, Polly. So, the announcement is taking away things with only vague allusions to what's coming. People don't like ambiguity. Turtle has had enough situations to know that by now. I mean, so... here's the thing, right? I'll go back to this, right? Shouts out again to Speeds, who did like a full directory listing of every single guild base. They're not building on every single guild base. They might likely be building on top of some of them, which is fine. But I understand. If from a developer point of view, like, hey, the existence of guild bases is hamstringing us, I would say work with the guilds to try to find a solution. This doesn't really feel like a solution. This feels like not kicking us out, but making our guild bases wildly more hard to get to. Wildhammer Highlands when? I wouldn't be the right person to ask about that. Although I think in the guild, I mean, in the directory listing from Speeds, there's a number of like defunct or non-existent guilds. Also, fun fact, Rats here. This guild base now I believe belongs to Gnomish Cosmonaut Corps. So, and I think that might have been a special case because that's specifically like a role-playing guild. But if the guild bases were causing issues, then I'd be happy if they said that directly. But that's an assumption I don't think. Well, yeah, like we don't know the full story, you know. If every guild base has an innkeeper, they don't have innkeepers. Actually, I think none of them do. Not a single. I could be wrong. By the way. But I do not think a single guild base has. We can actually look back here at the old thing, right? This is what Koan said. One NPC with custom dialogue, a vendor and repair NPC, one or two flavor NPCs, a mailbox, a bank mule or kodo, functional crafting stations, one door sign, rideable griffin or wyvern, a gardening farm plot. None of those are an innkeeper. The thing is that there are a ton of issues with the current system. The only reasons to keep it is the in-group that have it like it. Yeah, Acalix. Those people that have it that like it have been on the server the longest. Who were here when the server was sub 2K. Wouldn't... you know, did you know you can... There's, like, only some people can get the Black Karaji battle mount? Like, did you know that? You see what I'm saying? Like, well, technically, if you get the, what is it? The Conqueror of Naxxramas, like the title for being the first to take down KT, technically that shirt gives you 1 frost resistance. That's an advantage. I mean, granted, I know I'm completely making straw mans out of this situation, but generally there's sort of a vibe, at least in like the vanilla tradition of WoW, that like if you were one of the first people to do something, you can get things that no one else has. And that was kind of the vibe with guild bases. Will this affect gardening? I don't think so. Not in any real way. Unless you use a guild base for gardening. Oh, the old cater to the newbies or cater to the veterans dilemma. I don't think it's just that. I think the new players absolutely are correct that guild bases are really, really good and unbalanced. It's just, this seems like a step in the opposite direction where it's like, you know. Plus, as far as I'm aware, this was largely out of the blue. I don't think any guilds were like asked about this. Not that like they need permission, right? Because again, we have right here, the team has final say. So no matter what, at the end of the day, this is a privilege. And so the team can take it away if they want. So let's not, you know, get mixed here. We understand that the team said it from the first word. They can do what they want with them. So, you know, if that's really what they want to do, that's fine, but it just sucks for those guilds. Guild bases need a total rework. The bases should give some specials to their owners. Sorry, I was just looking at that. Based on this, you can implement a system that allows guilds to fight grind for them. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, and act like I understand. Like, if the team doesn't want guild bases to be a time-gated thing, that's fine. But it sucks. Yeah. Well, hold on. If we ask guilds, anyone without a guild base would say yes, and anyone with a guild base would say no. I mean, I still think there's a lack of creative problem solving being done here. Because the issue is that the players can't have guild bases that want guild bases. I think ultimately the team doesn't want anyone to have guild bases, which I can actually understand. From like a game balance perspective, like, okay, I see that. I get it. But if it was just a matter of just making the newbies happy, I think that could be done way easier. So I think genuinely there is sort of a push towards, this has become something that we didn't want it to be. So if I'm trying to be fair, I agree with that. I agree with that sentiment. I think that's true. The innkeepers at old bases, well, so Cass, here's the thing. My guess would be that the team doesn't want people to be able to hearth the guild bases regardless. I think that's kind of my vibe on this one. They're not going to take them down. They'll still exist. People can go there and use them. And guilds that want to have access to them, if they're inaccessible, can still access them. I don't know, Gorgonzola. I think it's too contentious of an issue, and they're probably not going to touch it. But we'll see. Although, if they're making a one-to-one copy of like their server, I wonder if the guild bases would be ported in. Is anyone who plays on Telebim, are any of the guild bases on Telebim? I can't remember. I feel like at some point I knew the answer to this, but so I've definitely talked this subject dead. Yeah, I mean, Polly, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are guilds that are in Silithus that have access to EQ40. There's ones, I think there's one or two in Eastern Plague Lanes that have easier access to Nax. And it's, I think that's, again, it's something where it's like, I'm not going to say, no, this is perfectly fair and should stay. I just think it sucks. Let's see. Refresh tab. No. No. Hold on. Oh, okay. See, now that completely changes the that completely changes the math. I don't know if you guys can all see that. Pre-existing guild bases can apply to have an innkeeper added to their base. Do note that this innkeeper would allow any guild to set a teleport to that base. Okay, well, there you go. Problem solved. All right. I'm glad we had this chat, everyone. I mean, that's honestly going to be probably 90% of your griping. Yep. Good job, team. We did it. Aclix didn't do it. All Aclix did was told me to refresh, and I think he just put that note in. Wait, Shagu? Hold on. Also, everyone say hi to Shagu, who's in Twitch chat. Shagu, what's up? But Shagu says, Russian attack has an innkeeper. I have my Hearthstone there. I didn't know that. Well, MDMNKY, listen, I was in the trenches of the class council. I was banging on the wall saying, mind you, Shaman have a spell called Astral Recall that acts like an additional Hearthstone. It just goes to where your Hearthstone is, though. I couldn't even get the team to change that. I don't know if we can get anything else. Now you need to hearth more. More reasons to buy the Dono shop. Does the Tome of Tactical Escape bind to a different location? I've seen that one that gives you an extra hearth cooldown. Tabard and Hearth have separate cooldowns, apparently. That's true. They do. They have separate cooldowns, but if your Hearth, or I guess if you would Hearth to somewhere else, and then you could set your Tabard to your guild base. So, yeah. Okay. I'm like honestly 90% okay with this now. All right. So we can get on with the rest of the news. So the I'll barrel through these stories and we can chat about anything that anyone sees. Oh, sorry. I'll say Haxer says Hearth location was always just one until now. Now you'll get a second Hearth location with separate cooldowns set by your guild. Hearth location was always just one. Wait, Haxer, are you saying that Astral Recall will work for something else? Well, I would assume your guild would be in charge of setting... Whoever the guild master is, they would give it the direction. And, you know, Shagu, that's actually a good point, too. I would say it's sort of like you win some, you lose some, because like, yeah, you lost those, hidden troll villages. However, there's still something to explore there. There's a guild base. So I think it's a win and a loss. So I think it's all right. Yeah, I know. Polly, listen, if I can get Haxor to change Astral Recall, though, imagine. Astral Recall's 15 minutes. Although my actual proposal for Astral Recall was that, like, it should send you back to, like, your starting village. So, like, if you're a troll, you would go to Senjin. If you're an orc, you go to, like, Razor Hill. And if you are a Tauren, you would go to Bloodhoof Village. Like, that was literally, like, my only wild idea. I'm like, it just kind of sucks because you don't get the flavor of it. You should go back to your home, like your primordial home. Yeah, I get that, Chagu. I feel you. I mean, you can only blame the RPGMs for not being inspired enough. Shouts out to the retired ones, which I know are Koan and I think Deacon. Gio are still around. And I think, and Zorazar. There's probably some I missed, but then Astro. Well, Drazon, here's the thing. Okay, so I just want Astral Recall to just be like do something other than just be another Hearth cooldown. That's all. Exactly. See, Shagu, you get exactly what I'm saying. It's your home. You don't want to lose your home. I feel that way. I know some people are different about guild bases. It's just business. It's like, oh, this puts me like X minutes closer to this thing, and I'm like, I just like going there and seeing all the dragons we have, and it's cool. There's like a fight pit with like a little sign. We have birthday parties there. I mean, yeah, Drazon, I could see that. It's okay. All right. We've beat this horse dead enough. I'm gonna move on. This week, this appeared on Twitter, and I believe also in the one of the channels in Discord. But they let everyone know, hey, we added an elf to the sketch. This is the one they posted on Twitter, and what I thought was very funny was that a lot of people didn't like this, and so they made this. Some people said that this looked too much like a Listen, elf lore heads, don't be mean. It's a Shrendrilar? Like the ones in Dire Maul, I think. But that wouldn't make sense anyway if it was Eastern Kingdoms, because like they don't really live there. But anyway, so they gave him a smile, made him lighter skin, lighter hair. So, all right, I think it's a nice nod to the work they've done. However, there's the Kalimdor. What's missing? Okay, everyone, we're gonna play Blue's Clues. What's missing? Huh. I guess goblins are gonna have to wait. I did get word that it's in the works, but if you play Turtle WoW, you know what it's like if you're on the Horde side, you're like, You always feel like you're just a little bit behind the curve. Fish the Fraudulent. If you listen to my radio broadcast, I think I said as much. I said like, oh, that looks like a high elf. Or it could be a blood elf, but who would play those? I'd be fine if you could. The nice thing too is that a goblin can be small and it's fine. I actually like a lot of the goblin lore they've added, so we'll see what happens with that. And the final top news story I had was a nice little end note for now about the big cluster that happened a couple weeks ago on Northernar. Announcement came out from Acalix saying, hey, you're going to get 50 turtle tokens to all players and 150 to those who were impacted directly. And then on the 14th, Jamie said, hey, the turtle tokens have been sent out. And I know my characters got them. I did talk to other people who got them. It seems like that all worked. And honestly, it's kind of a nice move considering the absolute chaos that Sunday wreaked on the server. So good on them. All right. That's what I had for top news. We'll move to Market Watch. If anyone doesn't care about Market Watch, now go get a drink. This one won't be very long. As always, WoWauctions.net. Doga does great work. Gathers all that information, lets me scrape the data and make charts, and he's a good dude. He's a good dude. Go to this one. Start on Telebim. This is what the SNV 200 looked like on Telebim. The top is Alliance, of course, and the bottom is Horde. You'll have to notice, though, Horde is substantially, even though it fell at the end, they actually kind of closed pretty close to each other. If you look historically, though, the last couple of months, especially in December, Horde was way ahead of the Alliance as far as like how expensive their auction house was. Just like broadly speaking, a lot of that had to do with scarcity, but it looks like now they're getting a lot closer to one another. We've continued to see that trend. For the Horde, you can see it's kind of flat, trending. That's over like the last, I don't know, like 3 months or something. One thing that I thought was interesting was that on Telebim, the Alliance did really well on mining, but on the Horde, mining just tanked. And you can look at the difference in price too. I mean, Alliance mining almost hit 2 gold 60, whereas I mean, the Horde mining side just like dropped, fell below a gold. So I'm pretty sure this had to do with just literally there not being any dark iron available. So one thing I did notice, I tried to pull the week data for dark iron. The Horde only had 4 days of having any dark iron on the market, and look how big of the markup it was. Like, it was 16, yeah, it dropped down to 15.90. So I'm pretty sure what you're seeing, like right here at this end where this price goes up, some pretty savvy people over on the Alliance started buying out they started buying on the Alliance to sell on the Horde side, which is why the price started going down and this started going up. I just think it's always fun when you can see that happen. That's what I have for Telebim. For Northernar, the S&B went down, and it's kind of crazy that it's this slow. I have even further historical data showing that, like, this is way lower than it's been, like, ever. At least in the last year plus. And if you're on Northernar, you've seen it. Prices are low on a lot of things, and this is great. That means the gold you have is worth more. If you're trying to make gold, that's tough because many things are worth less. I thought I'd also look at mining for Northernar just because I looked at it for Telebim. This week, it went up a little bit. Over the last couple months, it's been trending down, but I want to make the case that, at least on Northernar, I think there's actually some pretty good evidence that I think mining is going to continue making money in the future. And you'll see a lot of these spikes, and a lot of these spikes is from like one or two things being in super short supply and then just skyrocketing and moving the whole index up. This is just for the week. All the metals jumped multiple percentages. Not all the metals, but most of them. And I just wanted to show that, like, look, they're all trending up. And this is just the metals. And a huge gain was the large obsidian shards, which went from 5 to just under 9. So you can only get these if you're like a max level miner. And this shows that, like, there just wasn't enough on the market. And gems have been doing well too. That's another part of mining. You can see the slow trend up. Before December was kind of a wash because that was when jewel crafting came out and it was bananas. But even looking at that, this is what the week was for Azeroth diamonds. I mean, that's a pretty big jump. Same thing with Blue Sapphire. Blue Sapphire had a great week. Again, this is a matter of scarcity. This miners aren't out there, and I think this might be good evidence that mining isn't as terrible as I think a lot of doomers say it is. But, you know, take that advice with a grain of salt. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future. That's what I had from Market Watch. Hopefully you got your drink and you're all set. All right. Turtle WoW, could pioneer Underdark of WoW as the first ever in history? That'd be Underdark in Paizo. That's called the Darklands. Also, at my tabletop sessions, if anything happens in the Underdark, you are required by the table rules to speak with an Australian accent because you live in the land down under. Hi, Rakhangren. All right, so community bulletin. Want to give a little update on hard chores. I hadn't talked about them in a minute, and they recently got Battleguard Sartura down. I think I actually missed when they got Scarum down, and I did ask around about it. This pictures is provided by Meaner Mage, who's Gnome Stabber. Hi, Gnome Stabber. And yeah, it's for right now. I think they're skipping Bug Trio, but they have been continually progressing. No fatalities yet, which I think is great. They're continuing to push in there. Let's see. Just a couple cool things that I saw going on in the event calendar. This guy named Thek, he's doing some kind of, I think it's like a multi-session Zul'Gurub RP PvP event. I don't know what everything entails. I saw this listing and I just thought it was fascinating. If you're remotely interested in this kind of thing, I would check this out. There's, I think one event is happening this weekend or like on the first weekend of February. And the rest of it's happening in February and March. So you got plenty of time to check it out. I think this is great. RP, PvP doesn't happen enough, and I love to see it. And speaking of that, the Sunthorn tribe, I actually talked to this person. They had like a little skirmish event where they ran into Ashenvale to try to harass the Night Elf settlements. And I'm actually, it's kind of crazy in 1 week to see 2 RP PvP event postings. But this person is newer to the community, but I like seeing new people try to stick their neck out and try to make something happen. They let me know that there were some kinks with it, but they do want to make this a kind of regular occurrence. I think the main issue is that, you know, because this is more of an RP PvP thing, you need to have some level of communications with the other faction to be like, hey, so like our group has to like take 5 minutes, so like we'll be right back, or whatever it is, you know. It's an interesting way of limiting that kind of play styles. It's anyway. Shouts out to Try Harder Cheese Spam in the Discord. We also have, as usual, your Lions Pride Legion notice board. They have some events coming up. I'm sure that they're Wolf Skull Clan. Oh, it's right in front of me. This was their stuff from last week. They had some big story event thing wrap up last weekend. I'm sure they'll probably have an event posting soon, whenever Zorazar gets around to posting it. But yeah, those are like kind of your two regulars. They're always out there. So if you're ever interested in RP, go check it out. And the Turtle Fair is happening on the 25th. That is indeed this weekend. It's happening in Tenaris. So if you want to go check that out, check it out. I've been to one Turtle Fair, I believe. They're a good time. And that's what I had for the community stuff. This was last week's changelog. I did cover it live. I only put this up because there was something I did look into. This right. Fixed an exploit that allowed trading loot inside gift boxes when open inside a raid. So I found out that I wanted to like understand what the exploit exactly was. And as I understand it, I mean, obviously it's been fixed now, but if you master loot something in a raid, you can trade it once just to help in case there's a mistake or something like that. However, master looters were giving it to people who would wrap it in a gift wrapping, and then you could just move the gift wherever you wanted, and then it would just, you know, that's definitely not what the team wanted. I thought that was really fascinating that someone thought of that. So I almost want to say kudos to the exploiters, because that's actually pretty creative. But there we are. Team Ox, exactly. Well, the thing is, I think it would stick eventually, because you'd still have to unwrap it. At some point, I think it would stick. But yes, you could run through a raid, just gift wrap everything, and then just deal with it after. So maybe speedrunners were doing it, but I don't know who was doing it. And I don't think there's anything else here that was too crazy. There was only 11 notes. Yeah, it's nothing too crazy here. I do believe a new changelog's out, so I'm gonna actually, I think I had that up at some point. Actually, I did. Hold on. And we'll check it out here, because it was right above. Yeah, I'll try to get this centered a bit more. This is a little bit more than 11. Temporary skill bonuses are no longer considered when attempting to meet the skill requirements for equipping an item. Oh my goodness. Aklix, if you're still here, I could kiss you. Look at this. It gives a link to the bug report. Oh my god. It's like Christmas for me. This is like all I've ever wanted. And you know how many times I've seen a bug report and been like, what does that mean? All right, let's see what happens when I click bug report. Yeah, it works just like I thought it would. That's awesome. All right, cool. Oh. I mean, this is like a win and a half from the team in my book, because they just fixed the thing that I was most concerned about with guild bases, and they have links to bug reports. Alessandro, it's not the greatest game. it's the people that make the game fun. If you have people that you can have fun playing with, or if you meet someone while playing, it becomes exponentially one of the best games ever. If you don't want to be social and you just want a single player experience, I wouldn't say it's the best game. That's generally what I believe. So let's check here. Wait, I just had this up. Hold on. I just had it up, but I don't understand it. I found a... Oh, you guys can't read this. Oh, okay. It had to do with a fishing quest. Okay, fair enough. Persistent area auras such as Blizzard and Consecration will now correctly deal all ticks as intended. What? They weren't? It's like the one thing that mages and paladins can agree about is that they should be doing more AoE damage. Interesting. Decrease the call for help radius for cursed marines. Oh man. I wonder how that was found out. Lord Valthalak's amulet will now be provided to players upon accepting the quest. Okay. I think, if I remember correctly, I think you have to talk to an NPC or something. It is annoying. Infectious ghouls and plague ghouls will now only cast Rend when in melee range. I think I saw something in this in the dev channel. I was so tempted because I saw who made the bug report and I just wanted to be like, did you step too close to the zombies and get hit? But that's interesting. So they'll cast Rend. So like if you pull thread on them, you could be like yards away from them and they'll do Rend even though there's no one nearby. I guess that's a good fix. By the way, if you've ever dealt with these guys in Nax, they hit particularly hard, so it's kind of scary. Opening chests will no longer alert sapped mobs. Oh my goodness. I didn't even think of that one. Most of my like getting chests I've dealt with was like with the mage in Scarlet Monastery Graveyard. There's like a little cluster when you walk through that are like near the chest. And when you open the chest, it will alert them, which I think is like a vanilla behavior, I think. Like an old vanilla behavior. And I remember thinking to myself, like, man, I should do this with Vrograg and just sap them. Well, I'm glad they fixed that problem. Shellcoin related quests can no longer be completed by hardcore players. I think that's because it has something to do with it's been a while since I've done the Shellcoin stuff. I think it was like some weird level restriction or something on it. Purge no longer consumes a charge of Storm Strike. So Purge is a shaman ability, right? And so is Storm Strike. So is this for like when shamans are dueling each other? I mean, fair enough, but I'm just curious how that... wait, no, do paladins have Purge? Or is it called something else? I thought they just have like Dispel. I at least know that shamans have Purge. Purge it, yeah, okay, so, right, so, listen, Babs, you're with me how this one kind of seems a little weird, no? This would only come up in duels? I guess? Or maybe in a PvE scenario where like something gets mind controlled. I suppose if a priest mind controls a shaman and then the shaman has to fight the shaman rather than the priest, that could count. Yeah, exactly, Nixies. Paladins do have cleanse. That's why I don't see how is this even discovered? Why was it important? Maybe fish. Maybe that's what it's about. Purge no longer consumes a oh, fish. I think you're onto it. Yeah. So I think what this means is it was consuming your own Storm Strike, not another shaman's. Purge shouldn't. Purge is supposed to only be able to be targeted on non-allied players, which is why shamans can't dispel allies. That is a weird one. It is no longer possible to store certain quivers and pouches inside other... Haxer, what's going on? What's going on with the team, man? How did that one get through? What do you got in that quiver? More quivers. What's in those quivers? Even more quivers. It's quivers all the way. Man, that would break something. You know what? I think I figured out their item database issue right there. Sometimes I love this community. Nibu will now exit his cage once freed. I think that's an escort quest in Ashenvale. Could be wrong. Fixed an issue where totems were unable to critically hit their targets. Haxer. This isn't... Okay, well, actually, I do want to say something. I did see this... Oh, man, I wonder if I have the log from it. This was brought to my attention at some point. There was a week I did a Nax, and I never really checked this. I'm just like, oh, my Searing totem damage was a little low. Yeah, because they just stopped critting for 1 week. It's literally the opposite of power creep. Literally, there was a week where it just didn't happen. I'm going to see if I'm going to find it, because this is going to annoy me, because I know I saw it. I'm like, what? I just didn't notice it, because to be fair, Searing Totem isn't the... If you play a Warlock or a Hunter nowadays, you have talents that give your pets hit and your crit talents. Like, it will go on to them. You can do that. But for Shaman, their totems are pets. They're better than pets because they don't get hit by AoE. However, you can't give them hit or crit. So they just kind of get resisted a lot on bosses. I'm going to see if I can find this. Hold on. I have to look up my log. So it wouldn't have been that Nax. It would have been the Nax before? Maybe. Now, where's that going? No, also that's also auto attack. That doesn't make sense. Oh, this one's all messed up because I was healing that one a lot, so I didn't even use Searing Totem a lot. Man, I know I saw one and I was like, oh man, here it is. So it wasn't that one. Actually, no, I think it was that one. No, I'm believing it again. The thing is, with logs, you have to like reload it. I don't know, for some reason I can't... Oh, I think it's this one. Okay, so you guys probably can't see this that well. Let me fix this. So, on this week, my Searing Totem hit 217 times. Had 46 full resists. Not a single crit. Yeah, this actually was a thing that affected shamans for like a week and some change, I believe. I had no idea about this one. I just found out about it. I'm like, what? Nah, that can't be right. And then I looked at it. I'm like, whoa, hold on, wait a second. I play Elemental. I need that Syrian Totem to do work for me. Is it this one? Yeah. Wait, maybe? Yep. I think it might have just been Syrian Totem. It might have been Magma and Fire Nova too, which is kind of wild, but anyway, that I can confirm that one was happening. The unintended Aura of Fear mechanic has been removed from the creature Dissipating Spectre. Okay. Fix an issue where Enslaved Demon would break early even with Soul Link active. Rip. Poor Warlocks. Fixed an issue with Thick Obsidian Breastplate where it would incorrectly trigger from periodic... Okay. Do you guys remember I had that thing from Market Watch where I'm like, wow, look at large obsidian shards. They just like doubled in price. Well, I think I know why now. Oh, okay. Well, there you go, Axer. I don't think they've said anything about it officially, but I think they're aware. They're aware of that. Raukangren. I don't know what they're going to do, but I don't think they want that fate. So yeah, Thick Obsidian Breastplate would incorrectly trigger from periodic spells. So it, what is that? What does that even do? I actually don't know. Well, let me, I actually don't know what that, I never would have worn that. So Thick Obsidian Breastplate. All right, whoop, there it is. It says this: when struck by a non-periodic damage spell, you have a 30% chance of getting a 6-second spell shield that absorbs. Okay, so yeah, that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. People found out something was broken, and then there was a mad rush for Thick Obsidian. All right. It is no longer possible to receive healing from triggered spells after death, preventing players from ending up in a semi-dead state. I've seen the bug reports internally on this one. Anything they can do to prevent people from being in perpetual death is good. You can no longer disarm targets that have no main hand weapon. Oh, hold on. That's actually rugged. So, So, when you disarm a target, generally it makes them do less damage. King Green is wild. Okay, so you can still disarm. Alright, so the reason I bring it up is that I know with Vrograg, I would go into like a tank spec and go kill the giants in Winter Spring. And they don't have weapons. And I would always be able to disarm them. But I noticed that when you disarm them, they don't hit as hard. So I'm like, okay, well, fair enough. Like, I just kind of made them do less damage. I wonder if that's going to... Because I know most people are thinking about warriors when they think about disarm. I'm thinking about rogues with riposte. I'll have to do some testing on this. I wonder if that messed up rogues with riposte a little bit. Not that you're going to be tanking dragons or whatever, but for solo grinding, it's important because, like, let's say you're going to do duty quests and you go into, like, kind of a more solo tank build to take down the elite bugs in Silithus. Well, they don't have weapons, but disarming them makes them hit you less hard when they do hit you. So it's kind of important. I'll get back to you guys about that one. It is no longer possible. Wait. Fix a regression where creatures could use their melee abilities from a greater distance than intended. Okay. So okay, Raukangren, I think you should be able to disarm something without a weapon, but you aren't disarming them as much as like you like hit like a nerve cluster in one of their attacking appendages that just make them hit you a little less hard. Derek, once I finish up the changelog, we can chat about whatever. But I'm almost done here. Oh, let's see. Auras that ignore armor based on weapon type will only function when the corresponding weapons are equipped. I don't know what that is. Hopefully someone does. I don't know what that is. Fix the siphon used by Ravenclaw's servant, dealing too much damage. Okay. Kolkar Drape now makes the proper sound when moved in inventory and is no longer visible once equipped. Fix Crusader Strike not triggering Zeal under Divine Shield. Okay. Eating and drinking will no longer generate threat. Whew. I could tell you how I don't want to test that in Raid, but I'll test it. Classically, for anyone who don't know, oranges have been used at times to generate threat on purpose or kill people who are unaware that they generated threat. So that'll be interesting. I wonder if that works on oranges. Hopefully it does. The Everlook Broadcasting Co. has been hijacked by an unknown assailant. Are you the one who can help Zappo Zapblast restore... What? Wait, how much time do I have? Zappo's my bro. We're on the radio together. I might have to look into this. Fixing issue with Frostfire Vestment 6-piece not being applied correctly. Whatever, mages, no one cares. I say that as a mage. Okay? So, yeah, that's the news roundup we had for this week. I think the guild-based stuff, I'm actually surprised that I didn't have to doom about it for a week. It's just there, and I saw a common sense fix, and I'm like, okay, that'll work. Big wins all around. If anyone had any questions, comments, other third thing, by all means, I'm all ears. While you guys think of that, I'm going to go get some more water. I will be right back. All right. Maximus says, which dev do I send my repair build to for dying from the tier 3 set 6-piece being broken? I mean, listen, man. With, I think it's like Arcane Resonance? Or one of them that like doubles the cost of spells. I mean, you were already gambling to begin with, let's be honest. Derek Farmer says, yes, I have a question/suggestion. Is there any way the team could add genuine beards to the human male model? like taking the dwarf beards and applying them to the human male body? Can it be done? Can it be done? I will, without actually doing any research, I'm just going to assume the answer is yes. And I say this because I think I've seen some mock-ups of models of trolls with beards. But implementation is the key. So, like, technically, if I had infinite time, I could make a dance studio. I do not have infinite time. It could be done, but it is very difficult to do. I think when you mess with the models and add stuff to them, I think there can be issues. I'm not sure though. You know, I do have the ear of some of the art and design team people. I can ask about that specifically. I think it's something that is on their radar though. Imagine a mage begging for gold. I know you're joking, because they don't beg for gold. They just get the gold. Rockhangren says, I have a question. When do they fix bloody hamstring? 6 seconds cooldown sounds horrible, although I agree on the 3 second. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't care about warriors. Why should I care about warriors? Don't they have enough? Like, think about it. Is this a PvP thing? It's probably a PvP thing. Antonia Prado, breaking news. Dwarf Paladin collected drowned mana in Dalaran to get a fish mount, to then finally get it after 5 days of fishing. He realized the mount is limited to use in water, losing his sanity. Yeah. Derek Farmer says, kind of like that. I've literally always wanted a beard on my human. It's a small detail. So, Derek, what I will say is that if you are that driven to get a beard on your character, I would go check out some of the modding channel of the Discord or in the forums. So there's add-ons, right, that like add to your UI and add other functionality. Then there's mods that actually make modifications to the game. And if it's something that's just aesthetic, I say this because I've literally seen Murag when she played her warlock, because she got, and I understand, she got tired of having her succubus like crack the whip and say, I've been a bad girl. She's like, I'm done. And so she went to the modding channel and she found someone that made a mod that made it a succubus, who also said really, you know, salacious things, but was just a little bit less annoying. So I just say that because I don't know for sure, but I bet you someone might know where you can look for something like that. That might be a good place to start. Ludwig Afklecker, if you have a proper guild base, now you have to install an innkeeper, making it potentially everyone's guild base. Horrible change. Just add that feature to inns and leave the guild bases alone. I'm actually, well, I say this because, I mean, Blackwing Guard's guild base already has plenty of people using it. I mean, it's not a big deal. If it's also, if it's an option of I cannot have that ever be accessible to me again, or it can be accessible to anybody who wants it, okay. I mean, let's be fair. Like, guild bases are an advantage, and I'll stand on that. So if someone wants the advantage of a guild base, all right, sure. The more the merrier. What's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to make some new friends? It's all good. Antonio Prado, hear me out. Jump on a TRT cycle and you'll grow a beard so thick you'll... Don't do testosterone just to grow a beard on a character. That being said, though, that would be a really funny quest. Derek says, see, I got some experience with Blender, but the team has mentioned that modding models can be... Yes, it is very difficult to mod models. So I've never even considered doing it myself. I'll look into it then. Yeah, you should. And also, Derek, what I would say is, even if you feel like you don't know how to do it, the modding community for Turtle WoW is awesome. And I guarantee you can find someone that can at least point you in the right direction of how to do stuff. Raukangren clapping back after I said something in poor taste about warriors says, No, they do not. They are sometimes tasked with some hamstring spam on a train of mobs that a caster accidentally pulls with either a forgotten totem or a straight oopsie chain cast. So yes, Warriors hamstring nerf was not a good move by the Turtle WoW team. I'd say nerf them harder. You know what? How about this? How about how would you guys? How would you nerf warriors? Okay. You can have your old hamstring cooldown back, but rage generation's cut by 50%. Your move. How much is it worth to you? I don't make the choices anyway. Antonio, imagine they add the quest to do testosterone, and then there is a RNG chance that the dose of a goblin gives you is for a dirty needle that spreads another plague. I mean, did you look at how those original crates were constructed back in Warcraft 3? You can't tell me those weren't goblin crates. Fish has removed weapons. Yeah. How can you say that to all of our warrior bros? Because I'm not a warrior bro. I play rogue, so I've always played in the shadow of a warrior. And then they have the audacity to tell me to do IEA. And then I played shaman a bunch. Do you know how obnoxious it is to hear a warrior go like, hey, I'm not getting Wind Fury here. I'm like, yeah, I just haven't dropped it yet. It's like, their 3 seconds of missing Wind Fury uptime hurt them personally and emotionally. So, yeah, I don't have a positive opinion of warriors. Brack says, late to the stream again, but these changes to guild bases are a huge L. No one likes having their toys taken away to be replaced by a worse version of the same toy. Well, Brax, yes. We have talked about guild bases till the dogs come home, but I think giving other guilds access to guild bases isn't that bad. I think it stinks that like that veteran status is sort of gone. However, I think those guilds will always know whose guild base is who. You know what I mean? And I'm happy for the new guilds to have access to, like, a tabard, you know? Also, there are other guilds that are new that want to build community. So, let's say they find a guild base that almost no one uses, and that's their new home. Like, I'm happy for them. I would love that. I bet the guild base changes R2 test housing features for the next expansion. I don't know. Maybe. They gotta get Turtle 2.0 out first before they start doing crazy stuff. Guild bases are not being replaced. It's just a net positive now that old guilds can actually keep their old... Okay, but Haxer, you will admit that the initial announcement did make it seem like the old guilds were just losing their bases. Not losing their bases, but not having access to them like they used to. Until literally that one line change. That literally did change everything, too. Everyone should have access, but taking stuff away is lame. Yeah, I think it is. But in this particular case, I don't think the legacy guilds lost much. They really didn't. Yeah, Derek. So, tabards for legacy guilds would allow them to go to their guild bases. Guilds that didn't have guild bases, like newer guilds, just never had that advantage. Now, for gold or turtle coins, I don't know how that's going to work out, but for some remuneration, a guild leader or guild officer or someone can assign a Hearthstone location to be that guild's tabard location. And after the announcement, it was also said that guilds that have bases will have the option of having their base have a Hearthstone. So some of them might not want that and might just be like, nah, we're good. But other guilds would be like, all right, cool. But that means that other guilds could have access to that guild base. That's roughly what it means. Also, if you're watching on YouTube too, like, you can just reverse and watch. I did a pretty good rundown of what it meant early on in the video, so. I wonder if the guild NPCs will keep their titles. I mean, they did say they would remain untouched for now. I have to admit, I'm like a little curious. Is anyone else curious about this Apple Zap last thing? I was like, I think I saw them developing something for it, but I didn't know it was coming out today. Hold on. Oh boy. What's his screen look like? Oh, okay. Maybe don't have my game up right away? I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll actually log into the game. Oh, wait a minute. You guys can't see this. Because I'll put all my credentials in. And I'm still looking at chat. Don't worry. But right now, I'm also actively putting in my passwords and stuff. By the way. Wait, what just happened? Oh, okay. I thought I just told it to restart my computer. I had to restart Bitwarden. By the way, I love Bitwarden. Great program. For someone like me who has a lot of passwords to remember, it's great. Okay. All right, I'm bringing up the game now. I should also, where's the chat at? Yep, that works. I should be able to see all that. Wait a minute. Oh, I know why that's not working. Okay. Oh boy, wait, where's my actual game though? Oh, I have to do it like this. Never mind. Anyway, also, new look for Vrograg. The winter season was over, so I actually went to kind of a more traditional rogue look once again. Oh boy, my WoW chat is like very not where it's supposed to be. There we go. That looks a little better. Antonio says, okay, I have a hot take and I want your opinion. I'm new to WoW and have actively avoided all guides and add-ons. I found the game is surprisingly playable without them. Would you agree or not? Yeah. For like leveling up, and I would say for most of the content, totally doable. And in fact, probably in many ways a more enjoyable way to play the game. Where I would start to say you might want to consider add-ons is when you get to like higher end or really just any rating, because there's just so many things to keep track of that it becomes very overwhelming if you don't keep track of those things. So I think that's when add-ons become more necessary. They're not still, but it takes the mental load of some of the more complicated things out of the game and makes it a little bit more enjoyable. That's my take on that. Also, for anyone curious, because I know none of you are, take a look at my swords. They're axes, because I can equip axes now. True. Maximus, you speak the truth. That is what it was like back in the day. You just you had Thoughtbot and you hoped that whatever it said was accurate. That was it. Zero add-ons are are one of the biggest blockers for new players to understand the game. Yeah, it's true. I mean, specifically, I could totally play with a vanilla UI. I like playing with the PF UI just because it simplifies things quite a bit, and I think it's a little cleaner. But yeah. Well, to be fair, right now the TurtleWow database and Thoughtbot have about similar levels of accuracy, I'd wager. I'm going to go to Everlook, because I don't know anything about where Zappo Zapblast was, but Everlook is where Everlook broadcasting happens, so maybe I can find a breadcrumb there. Yeah, it's not terrible, Haxer. It's just I feel like it's just not clean enough. If that makes any sense. You started back in June 2005. Playing our TurtleWow route is very... Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously, they've definitely started to lean more into the plus side of things. I think that's good. Because they have a lot of good creative types, and they've taken a lot of really good chances, and I like what they're doing, but... much like... what I would also say is that the reason I think it feels like that is because the community is much more cohesive. And that's why I think it feels more like a vanilla. Like, the game is similar, right? But there's definitely some things that are different at this point. But I think most of what they added feels vanilla-ish. Sorry, you're not, no. Any new quests here? Making amends, is that a new quest? Wait, no, it wouldn't be updated already, would it? So I'm looking for a question mark I've never seen before. Here's Witch Doctor Mowry. Okay. I mean, Everlook Broadcasting... What are you? Nope, not you. I know you're an old quest giver. Harlow Wigglesworth. Where is that? Right in front of me? What quest do you have? Nope, nope. Okay, I don't know who Harlow Wigglesworth is, but I don't see them, so clearly they don't... Wait, did the reset already happen? The reset didn't happen. That's what's happening here. That's why I can't find anything. I don't know if I recall this guy though. Maybe the reset did happen. Huh? Hello, Jose. Huh. This person says they have a quest marker over them, but they don't. I don't know what to make of this. Leaning more into the plus side of things is what's giving the two. Yeah, Derek, I hate to say it, and so many people do not want to hear this, but I actually really agree with what you're saying. Derek says leaning more into the plus side of things is what's giving the 2005 era vibes. I don't know everything in WoW for the first time in 19 years. This team exactly. I've always said that discovery and exploration is like my favorite thing, and that's why I feel like Turtle WoW does something special. Like, I don't know what my BIS is. I don't know what the actual strategy for this quest is. I don't know how to do this thing. So what you have to do is you actually have to ask people, and then that creates a social feedback loop. And I think that's what the game was designed for in mind. Okay, well, Haxer, that's good to know, but I'm trying to look for the Zappo Zaplast quest, and I think the reset didn't happen. Which is very sad. Oh, thank you for saying so too, by the way, Derek. I put a lot of love into it. I'm glad the radio team lets me broadcast my independent news on their station. But it's a labor of love, and I love the community a lot. So, you know, I've had a lot of fun doing it. Also, I don't know where I'm going. I just thought, hey, maybe the quest is out here somewhere. I have no idea where the quest giver is. Wait, I bet you Explorers is looking into it. Okay, so there has been no reset yet. Interesting. Well, we can at least look into that other thing I was thinking about. Which, of course, is... I want to see if Riposte will still make the giants not hit as hard. Or if I can even do it at all. Do I have... Oh, I don't have this talent set up. That's okay. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I've played enough Rogue. Okay, so we go all the way into Lightning Reflexes for the dodge. I think I still need... Well, I would skip Precision before, so I think I'm okay to do this. This is my Rogue tank build. I used to remember... I used to have it saved because I went through the notes and I'm like, this is what I need. Setup's amazing. So is Blade Flurry. Most of what you want as a rogue tank is actually in this tree, so it's amazing. You want Malice. This helps slice and this helps flourish, so you also want this. I'm trying to think what else I want. I think I got the most important things. Defensively, anyway. Yeah, there's nothing over here that I want defense. I mean, that's good, but it only helps for your group, so... You have Ghostly Strike at baseline now, so it's awesome. Yeah, that guy can actually go pretty deep here. I want to make sure, do I miss anything over here? 1, 2, 3... Do that. Into lethality. I'll stop there for the time being, see how far I get down in combat then. Dual specialization, why not? We'll get Blade Rush. Hack and Slash. Oh yeah, this is simple. What's my combo? Oh yeah, I don't use Hemo anymore, so yeah, this is my combo builder. That's fine. 3. I don't need improved sprint. I'll be fine without it. I can maybe skip Adrenaline Rush, see what else I can get over here. Because again, this isn't about PvE. This is about me doing like soloing giants. That reminds me, Haxer, I swear you were my most dedicated and true lover of Voices of the Void. They had a big update a couple months ago too. I was thinking about playing it. That game did scare me a lot though. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like that game was like really like spooked me at some points. Huh, what else do I want? Oh, this is so weird. Like, well, I only have 6 points left, right? So oh, I could go 3 and 3. I'd miss out on Relentless Strikes. Let's not do that. And a combo point to your target. I can go 2 and 2. Might be worth. Adrenaline Rush is overrated. All right. So now I get on my rogue tanking gear. I'm doing solo tanking. So that should be okay. Yep. It really does. There's no game quite like Voices of the Void, and it's a very what I would call like an everything game. It just kind of lets you do anything you want to a certain extent, and I think that's what I enjoy about it a lot. There are so many mods for the game, and there's so many different ways to play it as well. There's no like correct way to do things. But as far as a game goes, it was like probably one of the scarier ones I have ever played because it took so long for anything scary to happen. It takes just enough time for you to like really get into a rhythm, feel like you're safe, feel like everything's okay, like nothing bad's gonna ever happen to you, and then something not bad, just really, really flippin' weird happens, and you're like, the hell was that? And then it doesn't happen again, and you're just left with your mind going like, did I hear that? Did anyone else see that? Yeah, it's I would suggest it to anyone. Also, I think it's still a pay what it's worth game, which is wild to me. Shout out to that dev. Like Dr. Big Nose, I think his name is. Giving away an amazing game for free. You better believe I paid that man some money. Okay, so what do we got here? All right, let's see if I still got it. Let's see if I can still take down the giants. Also, let's see if I have the correct things keybound. I don't. Surprise attack. Sure. And I mean, how well, I do have riposte, and we are checking for riposte, so I guess I'll do that. Blade Flurry. I think I'm good. Yeah. Oh, hey, Bruno. Hey, if you watch earlier in the VOD, you'll see I did a little shout out for you guys, and congratulations on getting Battleguard Sartura Dow. That is such a chaotic fight, too. I think that's what's so amazing about it. Looks like someone's been killing these people. That's unfortunate. I just think the reason I think Battleguard Sartura is such an impressive fight to finish as hardcore is that it's just such a chaotic fight. Like, even a super overgeared team, someone always dies, you know, in PvE, like normal PvE. Okay, there we go. I don't even have the sound effects on. All right, what are you gonna do? Pop a flourish. And we'll kick the wild regeneration. Okay, well, actually the reset hasn't happened yet, so I guess I've proved nothing other than I can indeed disarm an unarmed giant. Yeah, Bruno, Battleguard Sartura is legit. Also, fun fact, it remains one of the best parsing fights for Elemental Shaman. They don't have any nature resistance beyond the normal 15 all bosses have. And it's the perfect number of mobs to hit with Chain Lightning. And since you're heavily armored, you don't gotta worry about, like, anything. Well, you do, but you have to worry less than a mage would. Do I have... I do have my cash. Okay. I still got it. I can still tank these guys. Look how little health I've lost after killing 2 of them. Amazing. Oh, hey, thank you. Oh, Shagu, what's up? Shagu, I'm taking down these giants. I think someone else is taking them down, though. Just be careful, because they could respawn on top of you. Just more wanting to play Fury one day and get a badge. Oh yeah, that Sortera can have badge of the Swarm Guard. I don't know what that does, but I think it's good. I think it's good. I don't know, man. I'm not as knowledgeable about like the kind of meta stuff about the game. I'm really dorky and I like the dumb things about the game. If something's dumb, I'll know it. I'm gonna go around and see if I can catch any. Wait, what's this buff? Well, hold on. Thorn's explosion chance? What did you guys do to druids? What is this? Great, look. And now look, all the giants are dead. Nixius, yes, right here. Although, let's see, what time is it? Okay, I have like an hour-ish, I think, before... When Murad gets home, I have to go do adult things and bring my car to the shop. I don't want to think about adult things. That's from the Idol of Evergrowth. I didn't know that, and I still don't know... Listen, I just see the funny face guy as a buff. I don't know what's going to happen when I fight these giants. Oh, I get you, Bruno. Hold on. Let me just get right up behind this guy. You won't see it coming. Boom. Boom. Do a Blade Flurry. We'll do... Oh, geez. Okay. I hate the guys that knock you back. Alright, let's get a Flourish up. Lovely. I'm not going to get hit. I mean, I got hit that one time, but I'm not going to get hit again. Check it. Check on the left. Left is how much damage I'm taking. Dodge, dodge, dodge. I'm too good. Oh, no, you hit me once. Oh, no. Anyway. I haven't gotten a single echo yet, though. That's kind of wild. I'm going to try to look, Shagu, for that buff if the explosion happens. And he's hit me a couple times. Okay, we finally got an echo. And that's how you farm echo. We got a bit... I mean, I talked probably way more than any members of the team wanted to hear about rogue tanking. I don't want it to be the you can't hit me thing. I thought that was dumb. It was the only place we could go with rogue tanking, but I did genuinely think that it was a bad idea, and I had tons of what I thought were cool ideas on how to make rogue tanking a thing without making it busted as all heck, you know? I mean, I love how often you can pop Blade Flurry. It's just so good. Derelict is asking what add-on puts damage taken on the left. That's mixed scrolling battle text. So let me see if I can show it off a little bit here. So when you're looking for it, it's spelled like this. I have to turn on options, but you can set it up a number of ways. I actually turn off the vanilla or even the PFUI version of just damage text appearing. I like it on a scrolling. And on the left is damage intaking or spells coming in, and then on the right is damage outgoing and spells used by me. I mean, there are so many interesting and I think unique ways that you can really play into the idea of like a dashing swordsman rogue who can also be a tank. That it was pretty much word vomit in the old class council chambers. I'll say that much. They were trying to have me shut up. I mean, I heard the no eventually, and then I still did like but imagine like if the answer wasn't no. But to be fair, and I said this at the time, and I still believe it, I think assassination and subtlety needed a lot of work. And I'm like, yeah, try to give them an identity. We could talk about rogue tanking later. That's fine. And I really like what they've done with assassination. Subtlety, I think, still needs some help. Just because it's kind of weird, at least in a PvE scenario, to just be a walking totem. It's a very weird departure, I think, for rogues. But maybe there's a world where it's going to be good. All right, I'm going to take on 2 giants. Hold on, I'll turn on sound too. Ooh, can you guys hear sound though? Let me turn up sound a little bit more. Hold on. Do you guys have turtle sound? Okay, you do have turtle sound. Okay. Oh, what's going on? Hey ho, listen. I won't need protection. Prepare to be amazed as I take down 2 giants solo. Okay, he did immediately slap me out of evasion, but that's okay. No big deal. Got the flourish up. Easy. And thanks to Blade Flurry, this guy's like half dead. Okay, he did it again. So, fun fact, if you were trying to do dodge shenanigans with a rogue, you can be unhittable, but if they have something that knocks you back, it just hits you or knocks you over. Also, Vrog, not sure if you saw, we got Arky on Warrior, the best parsing warrior on the guild. Pretty fun dude to hang out with and trying to outparse him, but the name sounds familiar. I think I've heard the other warriors in my guild speak about him in hushed whispers. You wouldn't need a lot of vampirism. I don't need vampirism. I don't get hit. Hansi Hinterseer, hey, I just jumped in, loved your videos last year. Honest question though, you still play as much as like 1-2 years ago? You still have as much fun playing on Turtle WoW? I don't play as much, but I have as much fun. And the reason that is because I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but I do believe deeply when I say that you should only play video games when it's fun. And if you're not having fun, that you've lost the thread of why you're playing a game. So, I definitely don't play as much as like, when I first started leveling and all that stuff. And I've leveled up multiple characters. And it's not even like a lack of content. Like, honestly, some of it's been because like I live, I'll live. I'm a rogue. I'm beautiful. But part of it's because the time I used to have set aside for Turtle WoW, and this is all my fault, by the way. Like, I could play Turtle WoW right now. I'm going to do news. Or like, You know, I'm going to do... but you know what? I got to say something in class council, or I need to put in a 500-word essay into the dev channel about this one really obscure thing because I can't help myself. So sometimes I don't play as often because of those reasons. But I would argue that in a way that's also playing, because I'm still engaging with Turtle WoW in a certain way. And I have a lot of fun doing that. So, but I definitely don't play as much as I used to. But when I do, I have fun. I guarantee you that. Yeah, Lizzie Babs, I don't know if you know this about rogues, but they have a passive ability, as do cats, our furry cousins, who also use energy. Don't worry, I won't die. It's impossible. What is it called? It's a passive. It's not dodge passive. Oh, is it in subtlety? Did they put it in one of these trees? Safe fall. Safe fall. It just makes it so that I have to fall further before I take damage. Yeah. Also, so I am really not that into YouTuber drama or anything. But of course, because I do enough with, you know, WoW, the thing came across my desk of pirate software bugging out of a really botched pull while on hardcore. I would love to know, I should have asked you guys, I would love to know what Hardchores thought of all that. I mean, from what I saw in the video, and also I've played Mage quite a bit, I think it was a premature leave. You could drop down rank 1, what do you call it? Also, I should put up Slice and Dice. You could put down rank 1 blizzards, no problem, to help people escape. But at the same token, if you pull that much, and it's hardcore, I'd be like, peace, man. The Vrograg point of view of pirate. What? No. So Nixius, you say he was out of mana. You need like 100 mana to cast rank 1 blizzard. He had at least 200. He could have at least thrown 1 blizzard. I'm just saying, like, from my point of view, I'd be like, he could have done a tiny bit more, but not much. And yeah, exactly. They weren't that far away from the exit either. The blatant lie about having no... Well, so here's the thing. You could slow them down, but here's the thing, man. Like, you're not gonna get away. So someone's gonna die. He didn't have a mana gen. He didn't have the robe of the Archmage. Yeah. No. I'm not saying that he had tons of mana, but I do want to say that rank 1 Blizzard does not cost much. I don't think it would have changed a bunch because with that little amount of mana, he maybe could have got 1 or 2 off, maybe. So, yeah. I didn't hear about that. I didn't hear that he was hovering over his mana gem smiling. I mean, I think that if that's true, that's wild behavior. But, I mean, at least as someone who's leveled hardcore, I never set foot in a dungeon. Haven't you seen how he reacted to pulling that mob in Ashes after saying he's going to kick whoever pulled it, not realizing it was himself who pulled it? Listen, the only thing I saw was that one video when I said, oh, that's a messed up pull. They're in trouble. And then I'm just like, yeah, that sucks. Like that's as deep as I went with it. I understand because I watched that one video, my YouTube algorithm's like, do you want more tea? I'm like, nah, man, I'm good. But the algorithm was like, are you sure? There's a lot of other videos about this. And I'm like, oh, this is a thing, isn't it? But I figured us having someone from the hardcore guild on Turtle WoW, you probably had some interesting takes on that. Oh yeah, that's right. He was told to run. But he got told to run in panic. That's also, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I also know enough about hardcore to be like, not all classes are created equal in hardcore. Like, Hunter strong. Warlock strong in hardcore. Warrior sad. Warrior weak in hardcore. Rogue early tough, but later, chef's kiss. You just vanish out of half your problems. What if we do a vagrant group and push to clear at least No. Okay, I tried doing, I also don't know what came over me, but I tried doing vagrant as a warrior, which further cemented my hatred of warriors, by the way. But that was on me. I should have thought. I started it, and I'm like, this is terrible. This is bad. I feel bad for even doing this. Oh, I see. Oh, okay, I get it, Haxer. I think I understand the drama then. Is the drama a bunch of man-children getting upset over a 20-year-old video game? By the way, I say that with no sense of irony that I was about to have a meltdown about guild banks. But, oh, sorry, guild bases, rather. Yes, Haxer, it was the worst idea. Yeah, I think I saw that term, roach. Is that a term that's used in the hardcore circles? I don't remember hearing it back when I did Vrograg, but I also didn't do dungeons because I was smart and wanted to succeed and get to 60. Do you guys think I could kill these dudes? I have evasion up. I bet you I could try. They can't be that strong, right? Alright, I have arrows. Not that I really want to use them, but I don't... I think a guy pats out, so I'm just going to shoot this guy. Check this out. It's going to be awesome. Ooh, they have a... That's a lot of health. Hey, just a quick question. Did I ever end up taking that adrenaline rush? Asking for a friend. Oh, see. Here is where disarm actually really helped. Oh no, my headset battery just died. Actually, I'm doing okay. He's hit me a couple times, but I had him disarmed when he's hit me, so. Okay, alright. You know what? The team was right. It's a little strong. No. I cannot keep Flourish permanently up. I wish I could, but I can't. It's on a 40-second cooldown, so I at least have, like, 15, 20 seconds with it down. I will put it up, so when I'm doing, like, tough mobs, I start with evasion, and then I will build a 5-point, do a flourish, and then I start building towards, yeah, I didn't take Adrenaline Rush. Then I build towards, like, Slice and Dice, and then I'll maybe toss in, I mean, I could do Kidney Shot, too, on those mobs, at least. There's... And then maybe do an Eviscerate, if I'm still doing well. I have some other nice things for energy, so... Listen. I'm an old man. I'm gonna click things on the hotbar. The things that I'm not used to using a lot. That's just how it is, you know. I'm actually kind of pumped I got that guy. I wonder if I could do it without the. Hold on, gonna have to switch my headset. Not that it changes anything for you guys. Yeah, this is a pretty nifty thing about it. It has like a nice little magnetic plate I can attach, and then the battery itself, all I have to do is there's like a little charging station for it. Oops, sorry about the mic. All right. All right, we're back in action. Yeah, I think because I click stuff is part of the reason why I'm probably not great in PvP. I just last night put mouse over macros on my shaman for healing. I don't want to overcomplicate things. All right, I think I can stun this guy. Let's try it out. I would really like a full 5 points. Oh, he's hit me. He's hit me. That's bad. Okay, there it is. All right, we got a riposte off. That's good. Now I'm really hoping for some lucky dodges to get extra combo points. Yep, I think that's the pat right there. Really should do something about that. Ah, see, yeah, I could totally take him. But the casters, not so much. The only reason I have decided to try doing mouse over for healing is I heal a lot on 4 horsemen, and the tanks swap a lot on that. And so I found I was like overhealing tanks that were like walking away, and I'm like, if I just had the target, looks like whatever tank, 4 horsemen I was on, I could just mouse over whoever his target is. Murag told me about that. She's way better at the game than I am, so I took her word for it. But thanks to the wonderful work of Shagu, mouse over macros are a simple thing to do. You just do /PF cast and then the spell. And then now it's a macro, now it's a mouse over. It's great. Shout outs to Shagu. Shagu. Low key though, I would say after class changes, because setup is now in the combat tree, kinda made the ability to do like solo tanking actually a little bit more doable and a little stronger. I don't know if Shagu is in the chat. Shagu is ephemeral and amazing, and I would never want to tie him down to any chat. And he can do as he so wishes. Every single person I have bumped into and spoken to in the modding or add-on community, if I mention Shagu, every single time's like, that guy's a legend. Every single time, without fail. Oh, we are blessed to have people like Shagu in our community. I think I could do a T quest. Sounds a little high for me. I'm gonna turn it down just a smidge. As we're still about relaxing, vibing. And in my case, waiting till Murad gets home because I have to go take my car passed inspection, allegedly, and then my mechanic's like, yeah, so you have a 1 month sticker. I'm like, huh? And he goes, yeah, so everything worked except for like one thing, but it might clear out, so I just give you a 1 month sticker. And I'm like, so I gotta go take care of that again. Shaggy, you don't gotta say anything. You know exactly what you've done. No, I mean, the thing is that we all build the community together. I mean, some of us do more than others, and it's not a big thing, but you have to recognize that people like myself and people like you inspire others to do good things. So it's a good thing overall. Look, you made Nixius hate evil UI. If only I could get the community to feel that way about the team members. You and I are unique in that way, in that we have the team at like arm's distance. So we get to get showered with the praise, but when the team does something dumb, we're like, wow, well, we're not the team. So, well, wasn't us. I'm glad to hear it. I tell people, I used to tell people more often, though, the reason I ever started making any content was because of a guildmate of mine. His name is Koyu. He made, he made this image. That image you saw right there, out of nowhere, he just gives me this I didn't pay for it, like a finely crafted digital painting portrait of Vrograg. And I was flabbergasted. I was like, for real? He goes, yeah, I like Vrograg, and I just want to make a portrait of him. And at that time, I'm like, man, oh, hold on, sorry. Okay, sorry. And at that moment, I was like, huh? Well, I can't do painting. Like, what can I do? Like, well, I do writing a lot, and I like news, and that's literally how it started. Like, I'll just do news. Like, maybe no one will like it, whatever. That was my creative spark. Rewatched my interview with Akalix and that Kara 40 end of November. Yeah. Oh, it is hard to watch old content sometimes. I completely feel that. Oh, I don't even want to think about it. Like, my first, like, Turtle Wow news video is going to be, like, 3 years old this spring. I do not want to look at it. I know I might for nostalgia, but I'm not going to want to think about it. But yeah, I would suggest to any rogue out there, take a more defensive build. You can keep going a lot longer than you would otherwise. Hey, Mr. Raj, how's it going? And Haxer, that is, one of the reasons why I think like a month into doing it, I was like, you know, maybe some years later when this is all just a strange fever dream, I can look back on this time and go like, yeah, like I have a time capsule for anyone who wants to look at it into that period of time in Turtle WoW. And I think there's value in that too. And that's just something I believe of because I believe in like chronicling and like journaling, right? Journalism. It's recording things as they happen and bringing it to the community or whoever you serve, you know? Oh, yeah, Matt. Yeah, Matt. It's just, I did, earlier on, I did, like, my normal news thing. I saw a rumor that Zappo Zap Blast is going to have a quest change, so I just, like, instinctively went to Winterspring, because it's, like, Everlook Broadcasting, but the reset hasn't happened, so I've just been killing stuff, chilling. Well, I mean, I feel bad for the Moonkins too, Mr. Rosh, but let's be honest. And the Druids don't want to hear this, but if someone doesn't take care of them, they will breed out of control. Look how many, like, mysterious unhatched egg. 3 giant eggs. Like, you do the math. How many eggs do you think they're hiding? They're like bacteria. If you don't take care of them, they're going to exponentially increase in population. And then they're going to eat all the, I don't know what the heck they eat, but they're going to eat too much of it, and there's going to be none left for anything else, and then it's bad. There's even a world where maybe Druids want me to do this. If you think about it, from a conservation point of view, I'm kind of a hero. It does help that I am going to be getting tea for this, but... Okay, Nixius. You know what? I can make it more tragic. No. I have the Moonkin hatchling. Oh, look! It's your orphan... Oh, does he still do the dance thing? Perfect. All right. It's their child. I'm going to kill them in front of their child. Also, fun fact, Moonkin encounter is humanoid, so you can pickpocket them. All the more reason to kill them as a rogue. Druids for the ethical and humane treatment of animals, but not approved. Yeah. It's not, listen, this Moonkin hatchling that I have, I'm showing him what the real streets are like. I'm taking him under my wing, if you will. And when he grows up, he'll be a big, strong boomkin, and he'll protect me. I only knew about the Murloc companion dance. Yeah, it's like this. I think there's a mount that has a dance interaction too. I think it's the Dark Moon Bear. That's a store mount. I think this is even a store pet too, but I love the Moonkin dance so much, I just kind of... I don't even remember. I got this like years ago, but I still like bringing them out every now and then. Well, only 3 more leaves. Now, back in the day before the Nordinar tea, this was your only way of getting tea. And now tea stinks. There's really no reason for me to even get it at this point. It, like, health-wise, it's not great. Okay. Only 3 more. Oh no! Was that me? Or was that him? I thought there was like a druid behind me that did that. Oh, yes, I'm the guy. I am showing this hatchling the mean streets, so he doesn't grow up to be like these junky moonkin. By the way, now these moonkin, they're junkies. I've also made that up. Because it's a game. I can make up whatever I want. Never mind the fact that I pickpocket them. take what little cash they have for my own addiction to tea. Okay, I just need one more. I have definitely done this run back and forth many a times. And considering I've been raiding since summer of 2022, and I'm pretty sure the tea was out by then. I'm already seeing my guild weighing the pros and cons of whether or not to put a Hearthstone in our guild base. And someone says, gonna be epic when Titan sets their Tavern teleports to our guild base and we have 13 Titan raid teams zipping through constantly. Well, I mean, we have the most ideal guild-based location situated right in front of Black Rock Mountain. To assume that we would be the sole proprietors of such a good spot, I think is a little much, but that's fine. They didn't help build that guild base. They don't have birthday parties there. They don't have training sessions. Like my guild actually does little training sessions at guild bases. It's really fun. All right, I got my tea. That's lovely stuff. Well, I have the stuff to get the tea anyway. I think what I'm going to do... Yeah, because I think... Yeah, Murug's going to be home soon. I'm going to park here in Winter Spring. Hopefully after I come back from moving my car, the reset will have happened. But... yeah, I think I'm going to call it wraps here. It's not my longest stream, but I think the news was good. What was the moment you left WoW Blizzard? I had two leavings, so... my first leaving was... What was that? That was back in... early original Wrath of the Lich King. I left during like the tournament of like that tournament thing that happened right near Icecrown Citadel. I remember leaving then. And I am not joking, by the way. There's no humor in this. They put Dance Studio on the box, and right around that time, you could check the history. Right around that time, the team officially said, you know what, we're not going to be able to have Dance Studio during Wrath of the Lich King. So that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I'm not joking. I'm like, that's it. I was hoping for the Dance Studio. I didn't get my Dance Studio. We're done. And I stopped playing Classic after phase 1 of TBC. I had more to do with like my guild cluster falling apart, but also because it just wasn't as fun. Something about the world getting all spread out and really insular, it just didn't really feel like a community, and I really hate with a passion Blizzard. Just in general. I was willing to give them some money for a little bit, but at a certain point I'm like, y'all just do not do anything with that money except rub yourselves with it. You will not give any support. You will not do anything about bots or gold sellers or any of that. And so I was pretty done. I was ready to quit. And so when the guild kind of dissolved, I was like, I'm good. Yeah. Oh, I definitely would. I'm glad I left before the token. That's all I gotta say. And yes, Nixius, 14 years later, no studio. It's not even in sight. They have all the technology. They have the best designers. They have the best animators probably in the world. And they're like, yeah, we still can't do Dance Studio though. Not only that, it would be people throwing money at them. How could they not do it? That's what I don't understand. It's like they do it to spite me. And that's why I regularly bug the Turtle team to make the Dance Studio happen. But thanks. That was a good question. But yeah, we're going to wrap up here. Everyone have a good reset, which will be happening at some point soon, I guess. And yeah, make sure to hug all your guild mates. Let them know you care about them, especially if you have a guild base. Yeah, I think I might stream later this week. We'll see. Do I have any other content ideas or things I'm doing? No, not really. Like I said, definitely felt burnt out with video production. And I'm feeling the burning passions of playing WoW again. So I might be playing more Turtle WoW, which would be interesting. But yeah. Let's go to... what can I go to? I go to this one. Oh yeah, I still have all that stuff up. I don't want to do that one. What's the other one? I have so many different scenes. Okay. Anyway, everybody take care of yourself, okay? As I always say, whenever you are playing video games, remember one of the key components of that is having fun. If you're not doing that, you're missing the point. And as always, remember, the deadliest weapon is knowledge. Bye, guys.